On to our final pen of Yorkshire gilts. This will be lots 16, 17, and 18. We're going to start with the 22 litters. As I've talked before, the previous gilts and a couple barras, selling every pig in the litter. And the times we do that, not very often. But in terms of depth of quality, this litter was tremendous. A female we own with Kyle and Angie Reach there in Colorado, a bred gilt purchase they made, and we worked out a deal after a little hiccup to fare we're here, and darn sure glad we did. Started by step one, which is a Watson boar first crop. Excited about what he's done and going to continue to do. Very popular boar there that's done a tremendous job as first crop. Time's Up Dominator, leaps and bounds will be the mother side. Goes back to that famous Kilmer sow that Time's Up back on a litter mate to the Colton Kilmer's Reserve Grand Gilt North American 2019. So a really, really good pedigree. A pedigree we know works on both ends, and excited about offering this litter. Three tremendous gilts in our last group, and this pair of gilts here. They are short underlined, so we're going to be transparent with that. Dash 16 and 17, they are short underlined, so they do carry a pedigree. They can make purebred hogs. They can jackpot as purebreds. They can show in different settings, a market setting as a purebred. They will carry papers. Their offspring will be purebred at the same point in time. So with that said, they can show in the purebred influence class at the Expo and the Louisville setting, and that I think gilts will be very competitive. They can show as crossbreds at a state fair setting and give them all they want, just to be completely honest with you. I think they're tremendously good pair of gilts. We're going to start with 22-16. 22-16 is one that's has been a flat pin stopper, I guess the best way to put it, and she keeps catching our eye, and whenever we dropped her out in the show barn, because she's awesome on the side profile in terms of one that's stout-headed, still long about her neck. Gives you a great look from the side, but with that said, she's still one that's very shapely and so dense in her skeleton, and that's what's so awesome about her in terms of her forearm. She's got a big hind leg. She's got a very useful hind leg and square with that said. So I think one that's going to be an awesome kind of a jackpot gilt. If you want to show in that purebred influence show, or you want a white crossbred gilt to show or make purebreds with on down the way, that one is going to be one killer sow when it's said and done, and I think some resale value with that particular pedigree. 22-17 is another gilt that's very similar to the gilt I just talked about, one that's awesome in her head and neck and gives you a good look, like that big step kind of look and levelness on the side profile. Also very dense and heavy in her skeleton, and one that's probably got a little more to her than the gilt I just talked about in terms of just bloom and just dimension right now, but massive in her hind legs. She's got a big hip working in her. Very tall, tall-fronted kind of a gilt with a big upside in terms of one that's going to be a great big ring gilt. If you want to show her at the national shows, the pure influenced, or you want to make her a sow, I think she's got unbelievable kind of potential on down the way. Lot 18 is going to be next. This would be the 32 litter gilt. We talked a couple litter mate barras. First time mother on this particular gilt. A gilt we bought from Thompson Brothers there last spring. Roots sired gilt is the mother, and we bred her back to Baby Shark. Would be the other Watson boar and that pair of boars that we bought from George. And the Baby Sharks, after seeing some other breeders having some, this is our first litter, but very excited about the way they look, and their pattern from the side is awesome, and still flexibility. I like this gilt's immaturity, and I think her potential is going to be awfully good when it's said and done, because her upside is great. She's a great pattern kind of a gilt, good shape, good muscle, gives you an awesome look. Her pastern set's good. She's level. She's correct. Those are the kind of gilts that come back and get them at the end, because she's so flawless in her skeleton. She's square coming. She's square chested and good about her hip and hock. Those gilts make the best ones in terms of being the big ones that catch them all day, because she's got all the fundamentals covered, and she's going to have the extras when it's said and done.